Joined by a member of the British House of Lords, Lord John Taylor. Lord Taylor, thank you for coming on, sir. We appreciate it. This has been a very monumental change week in your country. You have a new prime minister, you have a new king, you lost a queen. I want to play some sound from what the new PM said about the queen and then get your reaction. Watch.
The death of Her Majesty the Queen is a huge shock to the nation and to the world. Queen Elizabeth II was the rock on which modern Britain was built. Our country has grown and flourished under her reign. Britain is the great country it is today because of her.
A great country with some adjusting to you. Your thoughts on this, sir?
Well, good morning, Trace, and greetings from London. First of all, my prayers and condolences must go to the royal family on the sad passing of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. We must remember that King Charles III, as he now is not only the King of the United Kingdom, he'll be King of the Commonwealth, which encompasses 56 nations, covering 2.4 billion people. So this is an enormous change. I do hope, Trace, that this is the dawn of a new era and not the dawn of a new era, because the king is a very different character and personality to his mother. The Queen was barely 5 feet tall, but she was a giant in terms of her character, and she rose above politics. She kept her head above the fray, whereas Prince Charles, King Charles, as he now is, couldn't resist the temptation to get involved in politics. He would talk about climate change and his views on architecture, and they didn't always go down well. Some see him as rather woke. In my view, Britain needs to wake up, not woke up. So he's a very different character. So let's just see how we go.
You say see how we go. Do you think he'll continue on that? Because as you say, I mean, and Steve Hilton pointed out earlier, you know, in the area of climate change in this country, he would be considered on the far left, where his viewpoints come from. Do you think that he will not be political, or you think he'll continue to dabble a little bit in some of these political areas?
Well, Trace, a true leader needs to be a healer. So he will have to hopefully listen to advice and not dabble. He needs to reassure the country, the nation, the Commonwealth, and indeed the world during a very troubled time, that he is going to rise above politics. We need someone who is able to be a statesman, not merely a politician. Those days have gone. He needs to understand that.
Pardon me,
and
sir.
I should say that tomorrow, indeed Friday and Saturday, both Houses of Parliament will be sitting. And indeed, it's very rare that Parliament sits on a Saturday. And in the House of Lords and the House of Commons, we'll be paying tribute to the Queen, departed Queen. So
the Associated Press, I'm sorry, sir. The Associated Press said this, wrote this about King Charles III. He now finds himself in, if you like, the autumn of his life, having to think carefully about how he projects his image as a public figure. He's nowhere near as popular as his mother. Charles must figure out how to generate the public support, a sense of endearment that characterized the relationship Elizabeth had with the British public. A sense of endearment, creating a relationship with the British public. Is that job number one for the king now, sir?
Trace, it is. I mean, he is 73, so he's had 70 years, actually, to prepare for this. And hopefully he will understand now that he really does need to reassure the nation. We're in shock, I have to be frank with you. We knew this was going to happen. I mean, the Queen was 96 years of age. She'd been on the throne for 70 years. So we knew that this was going to happen. But we're still in shock. We're missing her. And we need reassurance from the new king that this will be the dawn of a new era, not the dawn of a new era. And tomorrow, today and tomorrow, in the House of Lords in particular, we're going to have barons. I'm a baron. We're going to have barons, earls, viscounts, and even a few from marquises speaking about their love for the departed Queen. So he will have to follow that, and that's a very difficult act to follow. So I hope he will take heart, he will take advice from others. He will have a chance to travel around the United Kingdom, to go to Scotland, to go to Wales, to go to Northern Ireland, to talk about his vision for the future. He'll be giving a televised address soon to the nation. So we'll have that opportunity to reassure us.
Yeah. Well, as always, best of luck to you and your nation, sir. We will be watching what the King has to say later on in the hours to come. Lord John Taylor, thank you for getting up early with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Trace.